Morning internet, welcome back to the workshop. Today we're going to be getting this engine back together, all being well. We've got rods to clean, rod piston assemblies to put back together, we've got barrels to hone. So without further ado, let's get cracking. We're going to get these con rods into the sonic cleaner, clean each individual con rod, make sure it's spotless before we put it back on the piston. And while that's all going on, that noise in the background, which I apologise for, we'll get this barrel honed. Now, you must bear in mind, this barrel doesn't need a lot of honing. I've got my honing tool, honing stones. We're just going to literally touch the surface. It's a low mileage engine, there's no ridge on the barrel, there's no sign of serious wear. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Literally put the tiniest of honing marks on them barrels. I don't want to go mad with them, I don't want to do any damage, I just want enough just to allow little scratch marks for the rings to reseat, because like I say, it's a low mileage engine and I don't see the fun in redoing it all and putting all new rings in and all that when the stuff that's already there is, well, it's low mileage. How much money do you throw at an engine? It's low mileage. It should be fine, that. Okay, so we've got all our rods out of the sonic cleaner. So now next job is to pop all the bolts in the rods, new bolts. That's a snug fit. Sure side goes to side, new nuts. Okay, what we need to do, we need to just nip that up to make sure that that bolt seats on both sides. Make sure it's seated properly. Like so. Same on the other side. Okay, bolts seated. Okay, job done. Next one. Right, all the rods with bolts. Okay, next thing, that's number 1 rod, that's number 1 piston. So if we take the rod, take the piston out of the bag, that's number 1 piston rings. Got our circlips. Right. Okay, so first things first, circlips. These are interesting to put in, to say the least. Just have to get it in the groove. So it's sat in the groove. I'm going to get the piston in the groove. Make sure that snap ring's sat in that groove. If that comes out, it'll destroy your engine. Okay. One pin. Right, now these have to go in the right way around. So you'll notice the piston has an arrow on the head that points towards the exhaust. Okay, or the front of the engine. Okay, you'll notice the rod has a mark on it there. That goes to the front of the engine. So subsequently, oh fucking hell, right, okay. We found that this piston pin is really snug in this piston. So rather than rive it in, rather than force it in, we're just going to warm the crown of the piston up a little bit. And obviously I'm going to be wearing a welder's mitt because these are hot. Making sure that goes, make sure you've got your arrow where you know where it is, there, it's at this side. So when we warm that up, like so, make sure our con rod's the right way around, and just push that in gently. That should just pop in. There we go, she's in. Just make sure it goes all the way in. There we go, she's all the way in. Now all we've got to do is put that other circlip in. Job done. Before I'm going to handle that and put the other circlip in, I'm going to let that cool because it's hot. Very hot. Right. Okay, so we've got number 2. Take the rings out. Marked on the bag. Number 2 piston rings. Then let it cool. Okay, so we're all laid out. We've got our pistons all connected to our con rods. We've got all the circlips in place. We've checked that the direction arrow's correct for the con rod on each one. That's all perfect.